And near, I bring you greetings from your ancestors. I don't come alone, I come with all of them. From the great kingdom of Zimbabwe, which included Tanzania, Malawi, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, even South Africa, Lesotho, and Swaziland. The great kingdom of Zimbabwe has more than 286 sites, with the great Zimbabwe as the greatest. Just for the purpose of the record, we had the great Zimbabwe before you had Great Britain. Just so that you know. We were there as early as the 5th, 6th century. The British kingdom can only be spoken about in the 17th century, which is yesterday. We were great before even the British knew how to bath. Before they even knew how to build a street, we were building empires. We are not from the great Zimbabwe kingdom. We are from the great Zimbabwe Empire. And the Zimbabwe Empire worked together with the Congo, the Chitikulu empires within the Congo Basin. Monomotapa is from the 14th, 18th century. He was the last one. But before Monomotapa, we had Murenga, we had Tovera from the great spaces of Guru, Swa, and Embo. So Monomotapa is the colonial history which they... And by the way, while we are there, let me be quick to remind you that the new name for Britain is now going to be called Pambe Fumi. I discovered it. I discovered a place where people's ears shine with the sun. I have found people who have no knees. I found tomb raiders. And we have decided to call them Pambe Fumi, which means the thieves of other people's wealth. So from today onwards, you are not living in Britain. You are living in Pambe Fumi. And London in particular will no longer be called London. It will be called Rundonda, the place of the weaklings. Rundonda. Ndonda is someone who is always weak. I've never seen a country and a town which has a sick mental hospital on every corner of the street. So you are not in London here, you are in Rundonda. And the River Thames is no longer River Thames, it's going to be called Zibaremga, a pool of dogs. Not even dogs can drink from that river, dirty river. But anyway, the list can go on, as we have also discovered this land. But I come here not in an arrogant way. This used to belong to the great Moors. The queens of the palace themselves are not white people, they are black. Just in case you did not know, I came to visit my grandchildren here. Though they think they are white, their royalty is all black. How can you put a lion as a symbol on your kingdom when you don't even know what a lion looks like? That's for another day. I bring you good news from the great empires of the South, with the empires of Central Africa in Embo, Kirinyagas, the Embo kingdoms of Congo. I bring you greetings from Abyssinia, that is a great Ethiopian space. I bring you greetings from Carthage, which is the Egyptians and the Libyans, though they whitened up with the white Arabs, but the original Egypt was actually the dark-skinned. Just in case you did not know. Why do I say that with such arrogance? Because the Masons who built the great Zimbabwe, the pyramids of Sudan, the pyramids of Nigeria. Did you know we have more pyramids in Sudan than we have in Egypt? But anyway, if you don't know, you don't know. And then you talk about the Stone Age here, which is so primitive. When you get to the Great Zimbabwe and in Nzalo Yelanga and Mpumalanga, then you find the correct science of the clock, which they try to duplicate in the Stone Age here. So, man, we are not talking about their history. This is our history. I went there to Stone Age. It will no longer be called Stone Age. It will be called Masvingo, the place of ruins, the place of stones. When you get there, you find our huts all thatched up grass exactly the way we do it in the South. And I looked at this history and I said, no, 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 no. You did not start making these thatched houses. This is stolen history. You were in the caves of the Caucasus, right in the caves there. So when you start talking construction, architecture, masonry, mining, cloth, design, medicine, you can't do that without us, the Kemetic people. We are not claiming this history. This is our history. And then you wonder why when they do movies, they give us a white Cleopatra. And say, okay. The kings of Egypt, okay. Man, we cannot be taught by our children who we are. There's no European who can tell me who I am. I will tell you who you are. You can't tell me who I am. For every time the African has tried to look like the European, he has deprived the European the opportunity to experience him. Because we try to manage you, and we pretend to speak your language. We will use this English language for the cosmetics that it has, but not for the depth that it contains. For there is stuff in our tribe and nations, we cannot explain it in English. But for the sake of colonization, English has just become a tool of communication, not a measure of intelligence. We bring you greetings from Timbuktu. We bring you greetings from Benin. We bring you greetings from the kingdoms of Nigeria. When you see me here, I represent all of them, past and present, and those yet to come. The other day, I was giggling around when I heard, we must go to China and you see the Great Wall of China. Then I asked a simple question. If it is the Great Wall of China, where is it facing? And then you discover the Great Wall of China is not facing China, is facing Europe. So now we know that the Moors were protecting their land from the invasions of the Mongolians. So it cannot be called the Great Wall of China. It is actually the Great Moorish War against the Mongolians, who are the Chinese. But when you don't write your history, it always takes the complexion of the writer. Until the lion explains his history, the hunter will remain as the conqueror. But that's for a beautiful moment of taking me and allowing me to come and share this space with you here in Rundonda. I am quite excited to share some moments. I will take you away. I love the young man who was doing the slogans here, Giji, Gijima, Gijima. You know, beautiful, reminds me of Malema back home. But you know, when people are fighting, intellectual conversations become a luxury, because survival becomes critical. You pardon me, my tongue is that of the ancestors. It might get twisted, but in the midst of the proverbs, I hope you'll be able to catch the innuendos of the conversation. In the abundance of food and peace and security, people begin to think, because poverty and a hungry stomach does not know politics. Hungry people cannot think straight. So when you starve people, you deprive them of mental capacity. So in the moments of war, we slogan. But when peace resides, we introspect and we become spiritual. So I would have loved to teach you a chant of peace. I would have loved to teach you a chant of war, but I would rather play for you a song, a lullaby, to send you to sleep. For a very good reason. The battle is ahead of us. I need us to sleep one last time. Not to sleep as of negligence, but to sleep as of to recover strength. We will need all the strength tomorrow. We cannot spend the night dancing and chanting again, when tomorrow we need all our brains and our strength, our vigilance, our eyes, our ears, the alertness of our bodies must be calibrated in the rest of our bodies. So let's sleep for the night. For tomorrow morning, there's work and there's war. And all good soldiers like myself, we know there is nothing that beats a good night's sleep before the battle tomorrow. And just in case you did not know, it could be the last sleep you have this side. You may as well sleep as much as you can and have a conversation with your ancestors. For tomorrow, when the spears and swords clatter in the air, your soul might come and join us over here. So sleep just one more night, for it's only a night that separates you from life and freedom. And if freedom does not find you, your ancestors will always welcome you. So sleep is not such a bad thing. It's a moment of recalibration and connection. The world is making business out of those who cannot sleep. It's an expensive business. And to send you to sleep, it's a viable economy. So how about I play you a song so that you can sleep? Sleep just for one night. Wake up tomorrow morning. In Nigeria, they say, shine your eyes. Put away your clothes of the night. Put away your colonial appetites. Put away your colonial drinks. Say no to fuzzy drinks, cokes, and all these fuzzy things. Many of you are sick because you are trying to become European. Come on, just go back to factory settings. Peanut butter juice. Peanut butter juice. Beetroot juice. Go back to factory settings. You may just discover that you are not as sick as you think you are. For your DNA remembers much more than your brain can remember. Why can't I play you a song to sleep just for one more night? For tomorrow morning, labor will begin. When you look in your wardrobe and you see colonization, when you look on your plate of food and you see colonization, when you walk up to a workplace and you understand colonization, when you bank your money and you can smell the devil of a white man, when you are walking around the cities and you are going to courts and etc., and you can smell that the beast is alive, and your knowledge of the beast turns into your will to transform and change and have a better future for yourself and your children. So why can't I play you a song? Just one last song, so that you can sleep. But tomorrow morning, when we wake up, it will not be business as usual. There is no one within the reach of my voice tonight who will go home the same. We all will be changed. I'm warning you. You sit here at your own risk. I'm not responsible for the loss of faith. If you are a Christian, you are a Muslim, tough luck. I am not responsible for what will happen after this conversation. But I must talk, and if I should write my own epitaph, I can write it with my own blood. For that's what life is all about. A man who does not know what to die for does not know what to live for. So let me die. Let me die. Then maybe I can live. So why can't I play you a song and send you to sleep one last time? And tomorrow morning, the battle will begin. Where Martin Luther ended, we start. Where Garvey ended, we start. Where Malcolm X ended, we start. They almost were thinking like the battle is over. As many of us were staggering in the intoxication of colonization, celebrating Easters and Christmases, Halloween nights, and they thought they had caught us. But here you are when you see me and something in your blood begins to boil. Then you know the African is never dead. It was just a seed that went into the ground. The time of germination has started. I said, let me sing you a song and send you to sleep. One last time. Your ancestors who are sleeping in the grave, but they are alive in your bones, will hear me. I will sing you a song. Don't worry. I'll cry for the 20 million in Congo. I'll cry for the 25 million on the Great Atlantic trade. I'll cry for the soldiers and our men and children, boys and girls who perished at the barrels of the gun. I'll cry for millions who continuously suffer in these lands of oppression. My tears are worth nothing. They are the salt waters of the sea. Let me cry and let me sing you one song. Send you to sleep one last time. For tomorrow morning, the battle begins. I play an instrument called mbira, which is a voice of the ancient times. They've tried to call this instrument a baby piano, but it is far much older than a piano itself. So it's not a baby piano. Instead, it must be called a mother piano. Mother piano. It is a mother of all music, together with the kora, the banduras, the nyatitis, and other African instruments that are being underplayed in the classic. So when you hear me play, you will hear classic music, you will hear calypso, you will hear reggae, you will hear jazz, you will hear everything. If you cannot hear it, close your eyes and listen. You will hear everything else that your body and mind and spirit must remember. Not remember. Remember. Rejoin. Re-put together. Thank you. You can be seated. You can be seated. What brings us here is a troubled nation finding its voice, finding its feet, licking its wounds, agonizing, organizing, strategizing, seeking for a new narrative. We are not going to be footnotes of our own history. We are going to become subjects of our own history. The colonial project was thorough and very effective in terms of brainwashing the African. And it was so thorough that even in the absence of the white man, I'm using that word very selectively but intentionally, even in the absence of the white man, the black man now supervises each other to conform to the white behavior, culture, fashion, and etc. When I was there for 33 years as a bishop in a church, I remember being told you cannot preach when you don't have a tie on. And these are fellow black people who were telling me to put on a tie, because the white man who started the church said Jesus cannot accept you in your traditional clothes. He can only accept you when you have a tie and a jacket on, polished shoes, and matching socks. Then God is happy. And don't dare you play the drums. The angels and the Holy Spirit will run through the window. So please, play the piano and play the organ, and the Holy Ghost power will come upon you. Someone say amen out there. Don't pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about. You were there also. When we were young, we accepted everything. In our old age, we question everything. I was young, I spoke like a small boy. I'm an old man now. I've put aside all the childish things. And I'm now thinking and talking like an old man also. The colonial project was thorough. It did 7 critical things. Number 1, it destroyed our governance structures. Our royal houses were destroyed. Our kings are right here in Britain, right here. Some of them were beheaded right at the Thames River there at Zibarembra, next to the, what called that place there, the cross, whatever, the London Bridge. That's where the heads were chopped off. When you go to your museum paying £50 and etc. to see some of those heads, they are heads of real people. Some of them, like Mashonga Nyika and Mkanya Sose, my grandfather is here as a tourist trophy. Now, when you begin to talk like that, some people's blood begin to cringe. Because when a white man does it, it is history. It is tourism. It is a science. It's a museum. And we sanitize the wickedness of this generation that neither has a spirit nor a mind. What kind of people will wake up in the morning to go and make weapons to kill other people? Are you okay? You come to Africa, you dig up the whole place and leave mining dumps, poisoning rivers with cyanide, only to bring the gold and put it in a warehouse somewhere here you call a vault. You come to Africa, you kill animals, only to collect the horns and leaving the meat to rot on the ground. Are you okay? And then when they see us putting on skins like this, they want to look like they're conservationists. No, you can't be putting on animal skins, but you're sitting on a leather chair with leather shoes, with a leather belt. Are you okay in your head? With a leather car. What kind of hypocrisy is that? You pollute the whole world with carbon. Then you come around and say, please, let's do some green energy. Shut your industries up if you're talking about green energy. You have lied to us for too long. And the honeymoon of lies is over. I mean, the last straw for me was COVID. COVID was the last straw. Like I cannot even go there. I may be deported tomorrow. Now, COVID was a drama. And you, as the British, you took the trophy of compliance. No, I'm talking in general. You took the trophy for compliance. But when you destroy the governance of the people and you take away their kings and you replace them, and by the way, after killing our kings, why do we still have a king in Britain and a queen in Britain? Because all of us are supposed to come and bow down to some more or less unethical king, bundling us up in what you call the Commonwealth, which we now know is common poverty. Ripping the whole world. One of the greatest cancers of the 21st century is the British monarch. I must tell you that from Australia to China to India to Africa, we are all complaining about Buckingham Palace. The glory is all dripping in blood. No wonder they initiate themselves with those royal red gowns. It's the blood of our ancestors that drips through their fingers. There's nothing glorious about a kingdom. African royalty has nothing to do with the colonial concept of being worshipped, people bowing and kneeling in front of you. No, we are human beings. We live with our people. Even royalty must be decolonized. I'm not His Royal Highness. I'm simply Changambire, the one who is ruling from Mbire. So don't try to make me feel special by giving me some foreign royal titles. His Royal Highness, higher than who? He who is the greatest amongst us must be the servant of us all. Our governance was messed up. Next to governance, our land was taken away, which affected our agriculture. Not agriculture in terms of plowing things, but agriculture, the culture of food, the culture of planting and harvesting, preparing, preserving food. It's a culture. McDonald's is not a culture. Pizzas are not a culture. We have a culture of food where our women took seeds underneath their tongues, put their DNA and planted it on the ground, spoke to the plants, harvested them, brought the plants between their legs, cooked a meal for their children, fed their children, and that's a culture of food preservation. Not food security, but food sustainability. Because food can duplicate itself. Next time you're eating a fruit and it doesn't have seeds, throw it away. It has no life in it. After messing up our agriculture, they messed up our business. Set up their own systems of banking and insurance. Then used our land as surety for their bank loans. And then they developed the farms. And now they call their farms their own. As far as land is concerned, all African countries, and I now know I'm talking to the whole world, all African countries must follow the Zimbabwe model. I'm not mixing my words. Just take the land. Just take the land. If you want to see a white man becoming blue on the face, take the land. Because without land, we have no identity. I come from the bush, I come from the farms, I come from the rural areas. I've seen lions face to face. And when a lion is walking around, he walks around the bush and pees on some few trees around, and he pees to mark his territory with his urine. Then he reproduces with his semen. If you don't have territory, it's illegal to reproduce. If you don't have land, what are you going to feed those children with? Young ladies, if a man says, I love you, don't ask why. That's a stupid question. Ask where. Where do you want to love me? Take me to a piece of land, because that which I carry must have an inheritance on your land. Some of you call yourselves Christians. I'll make it easier for you. It is God, it is Eden, it is Adam, and it is Eve. If you didn't get it, I'll say it slowly. It is God, it is Eden, it is Adam, and it is Eve. Without Eden, it's illegal to have Eve. Without land, it is illegal to reproduce. So they messed up our business. We exchanged value for value. That's Africa. Value for? You bring me a bucket of millet, I'll give you a bucket of sorghum. We good. No need for paper money. Did you know that to print the American dollar, 100 bill, American 100 bill, costs you 18 cents. 18 cents to photocopy that paper. And then they cut it. 18 cents. And how dare? Now, unfortunately, our ancestors are kind because they send us to school. We have studied and proliferated in the best of the accomplished universities of the world. For crying out loud, I could speak better English than the British himself. But that's not an accolade, of course. 18 cents for a piece of paper, young man. And then someone flies from America with 18 million. $18 million. But in true value, it's a briefcase of 18 cents. And they come and they buy gold with papers. They buy land with papers. They buy mines with papers, which depreciate. And then they say that's value. No. Any man who sells land sells the future of his own children. Our land is sacred to us. We don't own our land owns us. From it we came, to it we shall return. Number 4, then they messed up our education. Started teaching us William Shakespeare. Far from the maiden crowd. Yes, Shakespeare was a black. He actually not a black, you are even making it better. He was copying from a black woman. Just in case you, so the real author of William Shakespeare, those are just adulterated African stories given white names, just like they did to the Bible. How dare you pick up the Bible and decolonize it? Even the angels are colonized. Gabriel, Michael, Jesus, everybody is white. The whole Bible is full of them white people. Peter, James, John, but Mary, Elizabeth. Like, is this a graveyard for your grandmother? Who you want to... But this is the mischief of the colonial system. So they messed up our education. And our education is a migration policy. Immediately you've graduated, go and find greener pastures. Thousands of our young people are in the Mediterranean with their degrees and their PhDs, running away from their own countries, trying to find greener pastures. Is that education? No, it's not education. It is slavery. How can I graduate and then I write a letter, I hereby apply for a job? And when I apply for the job, then they ask me, how many years of experience do you have? Damn you, what experience? I've been at college for the past 25 years. Where do you think I'll get the experience from? But that is the system. Even after we have educated you, we still cannot employ you. How many of us are graduates here and are working as taxi drivers? Duh. You may as well just go home and plant your millies. After messing up our education, then they played us into the sports and entertainment. I am Manchester, hey. I am Tottenham, Spain, hey. I am Real Madrid, hey. I'm Liverpool. I am what? You don't even have a single share in that soccer team. And you buy clothes, you buy flags, you buy tickets to go and watch soccer. My definition of soccer, 60 million people who badly need exercise, watching 22 men who badly need rest. You spend your money and your time on stupid sports, men chasing a skin of a dead ox. And you fight over 1-0, 2-0, 4-0. It was what? And you look at grown-up bearded men spending the day discussing soccer. When the world is in flames, and you talking soccer? Soccer? Here are real men transforming the world. And we as men are discussing soccer. We're fighting over the shape and the sizes of our women's backside when the world is in flames. And our women are busy sitting in massage parlors, extending their nails. I don't know who they want to scratch. They can't even wipe their backsides. Putting extensions on their heads. I want Peruvian hair. I want Indian hair. I want hair my foot. Why must I go out to someone with fake hair when I can go out to someone with original hair? Fake lips, fake. The honeymoon is over. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Tomorrow morning, we're starting afresh. Tomorrow morning, we're starting afresh. We are going back to factory settings. We are going back to factory settings. Reset. Messed up our sports. After our sports, then they tampered with our health and our technology. The forests used to be our pharmaceuticals. We used to eat our herbs, and we were alive and well. Now they sell diseases, and they treat diseases, and by injecting other diseases, and then they manage other diseases. I'm not lying. Someone who is looking at me right now, if we take you home, and we say, open your cupboard, you have more tablets than the pharmacy down the road. True or false? You don't even know which one to drink. And as you are getting older, you start mixing them up and overdosing yourself. You have a future funeral plan set up in your own drawers. Our health, our technology. I conclude by introducing you, they also colonized our spirituality. So number one, our governance was thrown through the window. Why am I saying this? You need to know how the system was structured, so that when you are decolonizing it, you know how to reconstruct it. Right now we have slogans as Pan-Africanism, Pan-Africanism. Some of us even think that we can still make democracy work. It does not work. It has not worked. We don't need democracy. We need dictators who dictate the right thing. I mean, you have a toilet that is dysfunctional. Then you must have a committee that discusses the toilet. Then a subcommittee that discusses the toilet. Then a requisition committee and a procurement committee. Then we must have a tendering system. After the tendering system, 16 months later, we are still waiting for, just damn you, fix the toilet. Democracy is a colonized way that stifles progress and development. We build those empires without democracy. We believe in consultative governance. Consultative governance. We rule together. You whisper to each other, until to the committee, until the king hears it. In fact, in the midst of abundance of time and luxury of royalty, I'm not supposed to say anything. I must just shut up and be quiet. All of you can talk. Then they come and whisper to me, what do you want to say? Then I say, it was a good day. Then he comes back and says, the king says, it was a good day. And I have spoken, though I have said nothing. That's how we used to rule. But our spirituality was the most dangerous. Come on, guys. Can I give you one last clout? One last one. This one, I'll give you a punch on your nose. How can colonization be wrong? How can Berlin Conference be wrong? How can the business model be wrong? How can the education be wrong? How can the health be wrong? How can their militarization be wrong, but their religion is right? Religion. We are willing to decolonize everything else. Oh, but leave Jesus alone. Jesus alone. I said, if you find that young boy Jesus, send him to me. Give him my personal address. Give him the address to my house. My house. Oh, no. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. I want to see him. Ask me what I want to ask him. I can see your plan that you have for the white people. I can see it. Can you just give me my plan for the black people? I just want to know, what's your plan? What's your game plan with us, the Africans? Because you've allowed other children to come and steal and rob and kill us, and it's okay with you. It's okay with you when they abuse us. It's all right. Let's make it slide. So what's your plan? And if he does not have a plan, I have nothing to do with him. I will find a God who is concerned about who I am. This one they packaged for us for colonization. Please go and read How to Tame and Enslave a Black Mind. There are lots of books out there. Liberate yourself. When Bob Marley was singing, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. That's what he meant. Decolonize your mind. Without our land, we cannot have spirituality. Our spirituality introduces us to our ancestors. There's nothing wicked about their ancestors. Abraham is an ancestor. Jesus is an ancestor. Jacob is an ancestor. Isaac is an ancestor. But in my case, Mara-Rah, he's an ancestor. Munyuki, Maponga, Chigaramboko, Garamashamba Huda, Wananduma, Wananokwara, Wanachapinduka, Wanaderere, Chukechite Zachino Bibono and Manga, Warpedon Tambanacho. Tambur ware Widamiti Associate, Dimiwagaramba Gurimawagarimano Chemanewe, Tambur Paruare, Vanama Quidamiti, Wakashaw Mutimano Quidamunu, Masua Eriokoko. It goes on as we celebrate our own culture in the abundance of time. And our spirituality speaks to our mental freedom. A black man finds it difficult to deal with a white man because he looks like his savior, Jesus. So psychologically, it enslaves you, disempowers you. Every time you look at them white men, you almost feel like these are God's favorite children. There's nothing favorite about them. And he, whoever he is who makes human beings, did not make a mistake when he made this one here. And you have a problem with me, go to my manufacturer. I'm doing quite well. I'm okay. With those few words, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all blessed African liberation celebration. Viva Africa, viva! One Africa, one passport, one currency, one army, one nation, to the liberation and unity of the African people. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Woo! Woo!
Clap your hands one more time. Clap your hands. Wow, wow. Please, my brothers and sisters,